Hello, today I'm squinting because I'm looking straight into the sun because we're doing something different. Neural DSP has announced a new update for the NANOCORTEX, and the whole idea is play anywhere. I mean, the update doesn't enable you to play anywhere. You could have played anywhere before. So why are we doing this? Because they said, hey, can you play anywhere? And I thought, what is anywhere? Playing a NANOCORTEX on the back of a gorilla? Probably something nobody else is doing. So for the beginning of this video, we're playing the NANOCORTEX on the back of a gorilla because it's dumb. Yep. Also, Leslie can test out the new camera we got so she can move around. What's new? Well, you could power it with a USB-C power bank before, right? There's nothing really different here. But people bitched about the effects. There aren't enough effects. Well, they fixed that. And the focus before, from many reviews, including mine, was that it is, because of the USB-C power bank, play anywhere, the smallest, most mobile capture device, because you can capture directly on it in 5 minutes, good to go. But they want you to understand, well, you can actually, this is a full-fledged modeler profile. It's not a modeler, profiler that you can use anywhere. Anywhere? Well, on the back of a gorilla in the sun, seeing any kind of settings, not really happening necessarily. And the tuner on a brightly lit up stage, you might want to have a different tuner. But let's look quickly at some of the new stuff they did. So there are 2 pre-effects and 3 post-effects, which you can now change quite a bit more than before. That rhymes. I got a whole setup here. I'm going into Zoom Recorder. We are completely off the grid. So there are 2 pre-effects, which used to be pitch and a drive, and that was fixed. Well, now you can put more stuff there. There's also an input gate, which is always there, so that doesn't actually use up a slot, as far as I understand. This thing, and that's one of mine, with a 110, yes. So you can see here, there's an input gate, which I can turn on. There's pitch, and there's a guitar overdrive. You can turn these on and off, but that doesn't have to be that anymore. So if I go to pitch, you can detune it and it's really, really good, but you can change that to, oh, those are the 2 pre-effects, wait. That's the transpose at the moment, but it could also be, here we go. I have to change the category. It could also be one of these compressors, 4 different ones, and there's also these 4 in stereo for post-processing if you so choose. It could be any of these drives, it could be any of these wahs, and it could be any of these utility EQs. That's a lot of different EQs, and also volume and a gate. So you can have a separate gate if you wanted to. So let's just make it a bubble wah. See, all that wasn't there in the beginning. Let's see what happens. Whew, it's pretty warm. So it's a cocked wah sound. And again, you go down here, envelope filter. Gorilla, hold my phone. That makes it quite a bit more flexible if you ask me. So we're gonna go back here. What else do we have? I mean, there's, more, and we can go to compressor. No, overdrive. I want a compressor. I want an 87. And actually I want to change my amp. So very nice, but again, you can change that into the transpose, or you could turn it into an overdrive, exotic, done. That's a cool drive, and of course you can change things, turn it on off. That's a tube screamer, and that's my exotic. Okay, pretty straightforward. That's for pre-effects, so you can pick different categories. Delay and all that stuff doesn't make sense. Modulation is post, so some stuff might need to be pre for modulation, but that's still not an option, which is fine. I'm clicking the wrong things here. So modulation on, and then in this slot, let's see what we can do. You could have any, you could have also compressor, so you can have a post compressor in stereo. You could have any of the, you can have a doubler. Ooh, let's see that. Done. More spread. That comes in handy, of course, but we could have a phaser now. So in addition to the one delay, which was pretty flexible, we now have a bunch. Pretty cool, dual delay. Okay, so and a couple more reverbs than before, which would be in the reverb slot. So they definitely added quite a bit more in terms of drives, modulation, EQs, compressors. The pitch is still there. You have a gate, but you also have a gate at the input, and the same quality when it comes to the profiles. You can still profile on it, all that stuff. They just expanded the flexibility when it comes to the effects blocks. You can move things around as well. Not move them around, but things are available in different slots. And the big thing really is, that is now a very flexible little box that you can profile on, that you can take on the road anywhere with a power bank. Anywhere? Could you play while you're moving? Let's go to our correspondent Henning in the field and find out. Hey, I don't want to spoil the whole magic, but I thought it might be interesting to show you some behind the scenes. So in the helmet, I have a Sennheiser Profile Wireless for voice, which might not be necessary. But now we're going to mount the NANOCORTEX into this D'Addario. This is a multi-promotion video. Into this D'Addario bag. It's going to be powered by this Anker Ugreen, it's not Anker, Ugreen USB-C power supply. And that's going into a Zoom H6 Essential, which auto levels, which is very good. So we're going to, this is our drone pilot. So we're going to put this at the bottom. Then we put this on top. Power it with USB-C, because you can play it anywhere, get it? I'm going to turn this on. Cable. This is a very simple video. We do these all day long. Input. Okay, so I should be able to play the guitar. We're also going to mount some cameras. One of the problems that I didn't foresee is I need headphones, but I need a helmet. So we're going to have to take the Sennheiser, whatever, HD400, whatever, and do this, and hope that I hear something. I think I will. And I'm monitoring through the H6, so I can hear what's going on. Okay, now we're gonna mount some cameras.
Plug me in, don't need a station. World's my stage, no limitation. NANOCORTEX power flows anywhere the wild wind blows. Plays anywhere, no chains to hold. Off the grid, freedom bold. Power bank charge, raw design. Pro modeler tearing the line.
So, and the question is, can you play the NANOCORTEX anywhere, including moving on one wheel? Well, I guess we're about to find out if that is possible. Okay. We might be a bit out of tune, but you know what? I'm not tuning now. Forget that. I can hear. Great. Oh God. I mean, can you play anywhere? Yes, but can you play anywhere? That's really the big question. Probably, you know, you'd have to practice this. Oh God! I mean, should we tune? I don't know. I don't know if that's advisable. Okay. Okay, so can you play the NanoCortex with all of its sounds anywhere? Well, no, I can't switch presets back in the backpack. But can you play the NanoCortex while on the go? Can you have super amazing profile sounds with effects and all that, and app control and all that while you're moving? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Should you? No, you should not, because this is stupid. But on a bus, easy. On a train, on a plane, easy. In the park, easy. Just don't do this, because that's stupid. And but links below, really cool new stuff, and animals at the end.
Broke, the stove is black from all the smoke, and his toys are scattered all across the room. The laundry's piling up again. We got no time, I'll tell you when. We'll do it on a rainy afternoon. The house needs fresh paint, the curtains are stained. Bank account strained, but can we complain? I guess that's just Mary life. The small imperfections amount to sublime.